Phil from Johnson Pumps. How are you?
How you doing?
We've got all the bilge pumps on display here at the moment. We have standalone bilge pumps from 35 litres up to 250 litres a minute, but they also can incorporate an electronic, a mechanical or semi-electronic float switch onto each bilge pump to make them fully automatic. Or we have a range of pumps where the automatic float switch, electronic style, is incorporated. So from 600, 800, 1000 or 1250 gallon, which equates to 45, 55, 65 or 75 litres a minute. Now they're all fully automatic, and then you can also have dash panel switches that can manually override the pumps to get that last drop of water out of the bay.
Yep.
And our largest pump here is up to 2-inch discharge port, so that's very, very strong, very safe. Now, the electronic Ultima float switch is our most popular switch.
Yep.
And it emits radio waves from these two circles. So for testing, it's just a matter of putting your fingers on there and counting to 5, because if the float was splashed, it wouldn't come on. But when it's submersed for up to 5 seconds, it'll then activate any of these pumps. Now, something to bear in mind with any electronic style float switch is that if there is a bulkhead or timber plumbing that's under 10 centimetres in front of those sensors, it can interrupt the radio waves. So for an old timber boat, for example, that might have a lot of framework, the semi-electronic float switch is preferred for an older boat because it's more compact and it can sit lower inside some frames. Now, with the smaller bilge pumps such as this, up to 1250 gallon, we call them a cartridge motor because when it comes time to replacing the motor, they can simply be unclipped and just the cartridge can be bought, and you can upsize. If your boat came with a smaller pump, you can upsize the cartridge, or need to, you can reduce it. But it's also the same cartridge that's found in our 4 of our 5 live well pumps. So by releasing the lever, removing the cartridge, putting the new one in, connecting 2 wires, job done. Very simple, very reliable, and each pump comes with a straight and a 90-degree elbow. So depending on how much room you have in your boat, you might have to use the 90-degree elbow.
And the cartridges are plug and play.
Plug and play, ready to go. Now, these differ slightly from the cartridge bilge pumps in that they're called a twin port pump system. So, for example, a gate valve and skin fitting allows water into the pump, and a deck wash pump can actually draw water through the second port, whereas the cartridge motor itself will supply water through here. So one hole in the boat, but for 2 pumps, 2 jobs. So very safe, very reliable, and very easy to maintain down the track. Now, as well as the bilge pumps, live well pumps, we also have, for peace of mind, high water alarms. Now, if a bilge pump was installed into a boat and a leak occurred, and the leak was such that the bilge pump couldn't keep up, it would actually activate a high water alarm. It would sound like that, so it would let people know in the bay or in the marina that you've got a problem and it needs attention urgently. We also have a simple bilge pump counter, so for people who have their boats on moorings, might only get on board once a month. They look in the bilge, it's dry, but they look at the screen and it says 200, so clearly they've got a problem and they need to get it fixed. So that will help identify any problems. And you can also have multiple sensors for multiple compartments. So one panel, but multiple sensors to let you know that there's a problem. Now, bilge pump is a submersible pump, but we also have self-priming flexible impeller pumps, self-priming diaphragm pumps, which a lot of people can also use for bilge pumps in conjunction with what's called a foot valve in the Australian. So in an old sailing boat, for example, where they have a very deep keel, there may not be physically room to put a bilge pump down there. So you can have a foot valve with a non-return valve in the bottom of your keel, and a self-priming pump can be mounted 2 metres above. Can be just turned on until the bilge is empty, and very easy to maintain, and it can mount on any angle too for safety. Very common nowadays. And then also, while we're talking about the bilges, we often have problems with boats where LPG gas or petrol fumes, being heavier than air, It can set
Sit on the bottom.
set in the bilge, and of course it can be explosive and can be a real problem. So we have Johnson pumps have a very large range of bilge blowers. And I'll just turn this on. Up to 1,000 cubic feet per hour. So they're very, very strong, and they will evacuate any harmful gases that might be in the bilge, or provide fresh, cool air for an engine room as well.
Yep.
So multiple uses there. For more information, can you please call your BLA territory manager, or look up bla.com.au.